Hello, welcome back to Fleet Signal. My name is Alex. Welcome to the first episode of how to play Firestorm Planetfall. In this series, I'm going to show you how to play Planetfall. And as you'll see, it's not a hard game to learn, but it is, like all the best games, a hard game to master. So to kick things off in this episode, I'm going to talk about what Planetfall actually is and a bit of the background behind the game. And I'm also going to talk about the things that you need to actually play Planetfall, which, as you can see, isn't a whole lot of stuff. So first of all, let's talk background. Firestorm Planetfall is set in the same game universe as Firestorm Armada, the Firestorm Galaxy. There are 6 core factions in the game and plenty of allied factions, which are all divided into 2 pacts, the Kuruk Alliance and the Xenian League. On the Kuruk Alliance side, we have the Terran Alliance, the Aquan Prime and the Cerulean Collective, while on the Xenian League side we have the Dendrenzi, the Directorate and the Rothosa. These are commonly known as the Core 6 and they are the primary factions in the game, same as Firestorm Armada. Each of the primary factions also has an allied faction that they can call upon called the Natural Ally, which is basically an allied faction that you can take in your army list without incurring some sort of penalty. There are also plenty of other allied factions in the Firestorm Galaxy as well, and eventually we'll probably see most of them make it over to Planetfall. To play Planetfall you'll need an army, and here you can see models from the Aquan Prime and the Directorate, which are actually the armies that you get in the 2-player starter set. Planetfall models are sold in what are commonly called Helix boxes, and each box gives you exactly the amount of models you need, and sometimes some extra, in order to build a helix for that particular faction. The core helix box gives you half a core helix. So to make a full core helix of models, which is a lot of models, you will need 2 core helix boxes. But every other helix is basically a self-contained box. Okay, next you'll need a copy of the rules. You can either get a printed rulebook as a standalone copy, you can get one as part of the Commander's Pack, and you'll also find one in Battle for Proteus Prime, which is the 2-player starter set. You can also download the rulebook for free from spartangames.co.uk. Go to the resources tab, and then in the download section you'll find a Firestorm Planetfall section in there, and you can download the rules for free. And there are actually 2 different versions of the rulebook, one with black pages and one with white pages, depending on whether or not you want to print it, read it on your tablet, or so on. Next up is a set of TACs. These are tactical action cards, and these are cards that you play during the game to provide a hidden information element in the game, and also to keep your opponent guessing. They spice up the game a little bit, basically. You can get TACs in the 2-player starter set, in the Commander's Pack, and also separately on spartangames.co.uk. In the shop you'll find that you can buy TACs as a deck on their own. Now, as you can see, I've sleeved up my TACs. You don't have to do this, but it's generally a good idea to get some regular Magic or Pokemon sized card sleeves, CCG sleeves, and sleeve up your cards just to make sure that they don't get bent corners and dog-eared and all that kind of stuff. So next you'll need some dice and markers. You'll need about 15 to 20 D6 dice in whatever size you're comfortable handling. The rulebook actually says that you should have about 30 D6. Any more than that is probably excessive, but you need at least, I would say, 15 to 20 D6 minimum to play Planetfall. And you'll also need some markers as well. Planetfall only uses 8 types of markers, as you can see here, and as you probably saw earlier, I put my markers and dice into a plastic box. Of course you don't have to do this, but it helps to keep things organized, and I did it just to like I said, keep things organized, and so I don't have to hunt for markers when I'm playing Planetfall. You'll need some way to measure distance in Planetfall as well, so a tape measure or a ruler of some sort will be useful for that. Alternatively, you can use the Planetfall template to measure distance, because as you can see it's marked out at the bottom in inches. This is actually 4 inches. So if you have nothing else to hand, you can use this to measure distance. It's maybe not as convenient as a tape measure or ruler, but as I said, if you have nothing else, you can use this. And that brings us conveniently onto templates. So this is the Planetfall template, which is, as I've already said, is used to measure distance. It's also used as a turning template as well for some models that need to use it, mainly bigger models that need to use it to turn. We also have the 0 hour tracker as well. This basically tracks your score in Planetfall, because in Planetfall you have to get from whatever number to 0 in order to win the game. So this tracks your score, and this is a combined template. It's an artillery template, like a blast template kind of thing, and it's also a random direction template as well. So basically you point this at your opponent, with the one facing them, you roll a d6 and you get a random direction. You'll also need a force list, which is basically your army list, a list of models that you will take into battle against your opponent. And these are compiled from the Orbats, which can also be downloaded for free from the Spartan Games website. The Orbats stands for Order of Battle, and it's basically model profiles essentially. It's a list of all the models currently available for each faction. Finally, of course, you'll need an opponent or a team to play against. Okay, so that was the first episode of how to play Firestorm Planetfall. In this episode we looked at what Planetfall actually is, and also at what you'll need to play the game. In the next episode I'm going to cover how to build an army for Planetfall, and also I'll touch on what some of the TAC cards, tactical action cards, actually do. As always, leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this video depending on how you felt about it, and be sure to subscribe to keep up to date with happenings on this channel. Also be sure to check out Fleet Signal on social media, and also check out fleetsignal.com as well. Okay, that's all for now. Until next time, see ya!